Saying so. How has this been?
Fantastic. It's been a great experience for myself and for the all the participants. It's been really rewarding, and some great tracks have come out of it, you know, from kids who have never really been in a studio, have never really written a song apart from, you know, maybe on the guitar. Now they've got fully produced tracks that they're performing, you know, not only sort of for their friends, but you know, on a professional level, and at the big gig, which is Styling Up, which has sort of been the culmination of all this work. Yeah, so the program's called the Emerge program, and it's something I developed last year as a follow-on to the Styling Up workshops that I've been doing, which is going out into the schools, taking out recording gear and whatnot, and making hip-hop tracks or whatever the kids want to do, and performing at Stylin Up. And over the years, I've been doing it for about 7 years, a lot of the kids that go through have left school, moving on, and can't come back to the workshops. And a lot of these guys are ringing me up every day going, hey, can we get some studio time? Like, okay, well, let's try and work something out. So we hit up the council last year and Q Music to put some money behind developing these emerging artists, giving them a chance to get into the studio for about 3 months, write tracks, record, learn about production, learn about how a song fits together, and then, you know, learn how to put it on stage. And they've also been doing photo shoots with Q Music, developing a bio and a press kit, which gives the opportunity to not only do this gig but take it further from here, send out their gear to festivals around Australia and around Brisbane. And there is a lot of community festivals, but a lot of these guys don't have a CD or anything to represent themselves. So this was an opportunity to develop these guys, these emerging artists, into a semi-professional, professional outfit. So yeah, that's been the name of the game. We've had 5 bands from out of Inala and groups that have been through Styling Up. Yeah, and they applied.
Speak a little to some of the bands that you've been working, the groups that you've been working with right now, in terms of their progress. You know, what you think their street appearance is going to be like.
The street appearance, eh? Yeah, I think they've got a very natural sort of vibe about them. It's not too sort of preconceived, or haven't really thought so much about their image. I think they've been very sort of natural about their vibe. They've come out, something that's come out of their community and the culture and their the background that they've come from. There's a wide variety of guys, from Sudanese fellas who came over here 5 years ago as refugees, to a lot of the Inala Murray boys. And there's guys from New Zealand. So it's quite a broad cross section of fellas, and I think they've got, you know, the street cred to sort of back up what they're saying. They're not talking gangster American bullshit. You know, they're talking about their lives and, you know, what they've been up to and their experiences of coming from other countries, and stories of, you know, I think stories of who they are, really. I think that's what we've focused on, is to try and keep it real as far as the lyrics and the music goes. I think that's really important, and they've done it well.
Well, I saw you working with some girls earlier today. You know, can you tell us a little about how the young ladies have been progressing?
Yeah, well, they were actually just a sister of one of the fellas who I've been recording with, and he sort of said to them, "I'll come in and do some backing up vocals." And they had these bloody wild voices, and I'm saying, hey, we should get these guys to do a song. So it turned from Royden, the TI fella, saying, you know, he was going to sing it, to him. He wrote the song for the ladies, and one of them studies music, and she's really good, and they've sort of got their own little group that comes together, and they sort of practice on the acoustic, and they do a lot of covers. I don't think they've really moved into a studio or developed their own sound as yet, and I think they've done really well. I mean, they've got the attitude on stage. They're not scared to dance around and get into it, and they've only had 2 recording sessions, which we wrote the song. They were reading from their lyrics today, but they've got the vibe to, you know, to pull it off. I think, yeah, it's good.
And do you see this kind of, give me a kind of insight on how would you want to see this develop down the track, you know, because as is stated, Stylin Up is like a 3-month kind of preparation process. So ideally, what would you like to see happen between now and the next Stylin Up?
Well, I think what would be really good is to take what these guys have made, their music and their tracks and their CD and their bios, and actually push them on to doing some shows, going up and down the East Coast, performing, you know, staying as a sort of a unit together. We can put on a show with these guys and having them go around and be ambassadors for Stylin Up for the rest of the year, you know, promoting it around the country and, you know, meeting people and inspiring other young people who may be sitting at home on a computer but don't really want to, you know, haven't got the balls to get out there yet. I think these guys would be, you know, really, really good and inspirational in a role like that. And I think as well, developing more songs. I mean, most of them have only got 2 songs out of this now, but they've got 15 in the wings. You know, they've been inspired now. They've taken the bait and they're ready to, you know, do more and more. But yeah, like you say, once Stylin Up's over, there's a big hole, you know, in the rest of the year. So I think it'd be great to keep them on, and next year get a fresh group coming in, and they can see the success that the ones before have had, you know, and they'll be headlining Stylin Up next year as a professional group that have been touring, and, you know, they've got a fan base, they've got a, you know, website, they've got an album coming out, and then the new kids coming through will be like, wow, we want to be like this. And then these guys from this year can be, you know, training them up, getting in the studio, encouraging them, you know, helping them out. I think, and it's got that potential to roll on. It just needs, yeah, it needs some cash basically to keep it going. But I mean, the enthusiasm's there from the kids, and this is just the tip of the iceberg in the community. There's a lot more kids that have heard this and want to do more and are ringing me up. They want to come in the studio. So, you know, there's a wealth of kids with talent out there that, you know, are not doing much, you know, sitting on the dole at home, or, you know, getting into drugs and stuff when they could be using, you know, their talent and expression to be getting involved in a project like this.
Well, Luke, we want to thank you. It's been fantastic looking at your work and seeing the performers, you know, and their level of professionalism already. Given that this is, you know, just like 12 weeks worth of workshop that they've been going through, it's quite clear that if given the opportunity, these can be contributors to Australians' GDP. You know, they'll be amazing Australian exports, you know, so congratulations for what you've done so far, and all the best for Stylin Up, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks for all your help, and thanks to The Edge for being so supportive, and we'll see you next time.